It looks like everyone's here. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight here at Jet Travel. We are here with our friends at AmaWaterways. We have our friend Mary Margaret, who is going to lead us through a beautiful presentation and tell us what's new for 2024. So welcome, Mary Margaret, and we
Well,
look forward to hearing all about what's new for AMA this year.
well, thank you so much. I appreciate it. And welcome everyone on this. I don't know where everybody is, but I know I'm located in the Chicagoland area, and I have to tell you, it is still sub-zero. So I'm looking forward to looking at these beautiful pictures. And what you see in front of you is actually the Douro Valley, which is very, very lovely. The Douro Valley is very picturesque, and with our Douro itineraries, we actually travel only during the day, so you get the full insight of the beauty of this whole area. So let's get started. All right. I've been showing you our ships because I want you to know that our ships, we own them. We do not build, AmaWaterways does not build a ship unless we can pay for it in cash. And so when you're working with Jet Travel and AmaWaterways, you're working with a debt-free company. We're very proud of that, especially in today's day and age. So we have 29 ships in our itinerary. When you travel with us, you are traveling with choices, not options. Choices are free, options cost you money. So our tours are all included, and you do have choices. So you might have to choose between a bike tour because our ships in Europe have 26 bicycles on all of them. So we offer bicycle tours, we offer hiking excursions, we may offer cooking classes, a culinary tour, as well as our regular tours. And then once you've decided, then you're going to have to choose between you want to be part of my gentle walkers. They just walk a little bit slower. My regular walkers, or what I like to say are my power walkers, who just want to get through that tour and then go do something else. We also offer late risers. Remember, you're on holiday, and also independent tours now. And what is an independent tour? Well, an independent tour is you don't want to use a tour guide, right? You just want to go explore the city yourself. Well, go up to the front desk. We'll give you a map. We'll give you some suggestions as to maybe what you would like to see while you're on your independent tour, but also what time to be back at the ship. Because if you're not back at the ship, I hope you have the Uber or Lyft app, right? Because you will be going to the next. We also have wellness hosts on all of our ships. We do yoga, tai chi, aerobics on the sun deck on beautiful days. And when the day is maybe not so beautiful, we'll do them in our lounge area in the morning. We'll have fitness centers on all of our ships where we have our wellness coordinator conducting fitness classes. Or you could just come down and use the fitness center at your leisure because they're open 24/7 with your cabin. AmaWaterways is a very active cruise line, but I love talking about our food because it is fresh, locally sourced. Breakfast is we have a menu. You can order as much as you'd like, all right? And with breakfast, we also offer our sparkling wine. So you could start your day off with a mimosa or just a glass of sparkling wine if you so choose. Lunch, you have a choice having lunch in our main dining room or in our bistro, which is up in our lounge area. And with lunch as well as with dinner, and dinner is definitely menu driven. There's usually 4 or 5 items on the menu, but if you don't like what's on that menu, we always offer our filet, our chicken breast, our salmon, as well as our wonderful French fries, which you could order at any meal, and our Caesar set. Now, with lunch and dinner, we offer unlimited free-flowing beer, wine, and soda. And I want to tell you that the wine is free-flowing. And you have a choice between a red or white. The wines are regional. They're changed on a nightly basis. So you have a taste of the region that you're in. And we have a sip and sail. A sip and sail is an hour cocktail party prior to dinner. So and this is also where you will have a kind of a update from your cruise manager as to what's going to be happening maybe the next day or what's going to be happening even that evening, because we do have nightly entertainment. All right. If you have a dietary need, all you have to do is tell your advisor at Jet Travel. And we can do everything but kosher, because our kitchen is not kosher. We also have the chef's table. And our chef's table is alternative dining. It is 5 courses, wine paired, and there is no upcharge to have dinner there. We encourage you to sign up. All you have to do is go up to the front desk and say, I would like to have dinner there Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whenever it's, you'd like, and we make a reservation for you. It's a magnificent 7-course meal. And it's a must do. But where do we go, right? Well, AmaWaterways does the rivers of Europe, obviously, all right, because we are a waterways company. We do Portugal. Portugal, we have 2 beautiful itineraries. Currently, we have 2 ships in Portugal. And Portugal has become extremely popular. They're smaller ships. They're only 102 passengers. And we will be actually putting a 3rd ship in 2025 on the Douro River. We also do France. We have 5 beautiful itineraries in France, and soon to be adding this year, we're adding a 6th itinerary, which I'll talk about in a little bit. And then, of course, we do the other rivers of Europe, but we do not do the Po in Italy or the Elbe in Germany. And the reason being is the water levels, which they're just very unpredictable. We started Vietnam in 2008, where we have the Amadara. She's a beautiful 124 passenger ship. And we've added Thailand as a pre or post place. Africa. We started Africa in 2010, and it's quite unusual. If you've got Africa on your bucket list, please talk to one of the Jet advisors at our program, because it is unusual. It's land where you may fly into South Africa and Cape Town, spend 3 nights in Cape Town, where we take you into wine country. We take you up the gondola to see the beautiful scenery, as well as to see the penguins, because South Africa does have penguins. And we fly you to Botswana, where you will board the beautiful Zimbabwe Queen. The Zimbabwe Queen is only 14 suites, right? 28 passengers. You will sail the Chobe for 4 nights. And you will see along the Chobe and into Chobe National Park, you will see over 500 species of birds. You will see zebras, wildebeest, rhinos, giraffes, and a ton, quote unquote, of elephants. And really getting up close and personal with them. And then you will go into Victoria Falls for 2 nights. And then you'll have your choice of going into Johannesburg or flying back into Cape Town to go. It's a beautiful, beautiful itinerary. We started Egypt, another one, in September of 2021. And we travel Egypt for 7 nights on the Nile, but we also offer 3 nights in Cairo, where we have the Ahmadiyya is there, and we're adding a 2nd ship in March of this year, we're adding the Ahmadiyya. So that is a beautiful historic journey. And then in November of this year, we will be doing Colombia on the Magdalena. And we'll have one of our journeys starting in November, and our 2nd journey with our 2nd ship in the spring of 2025. So let's get started so I can show you some of these beautiful places and things. So this is your floating boutique hotel. This is our twin balconies. They are 443 feet long and 37 feet wide, right? And back here in the aft part of the ship is where our chef's table is located. And then we have what I call my swan level, our fixed window level. We have our French balconies. I have 18 of those on my ship, and I'll show you what they look like in a few minutes. And then I have my twin balconies. All of my twin balcony ships have swimming pools, right? And then down here is where you have your dining area and your lounge, right? So up here, you have a 360-degree view of Europe, of what you're sailing with, the scenery, etc., that you're going to be seeing. We have suites. They range in size between 300 to 350 square feet. The 350 square foot suites will actually accommodate 4. And all of my suites on all of my ships, no matter where you are, have the dual sinks, bathtubs, as well as a walk-in door. Okay? Majority of my staterooms are twin balconies, and they range in size from 210 square feet to 235 square feet. And the biggest difference on any one of our ships is just the color, the appointments in the staterooms themselves. All the staterooms, my twin balconies, you can be inside, open your French balcony and be sitting inside enjoying the fresh air, or on your veranda. They all have your Apple TVs, which is your TV, your music, your first run Hollywood movies on demand, as well as the internet. But please, our ships are Wi-Fi. We spend more money on our bandwidth than we do on it, so that you are connected. All of my twin balcony cabin staterooms have mini fridges and stocked with water. You can have as much as you'd like, and it all is all complimentary. Also have something extra. We have a magic drawer. That magic drawer is located right over here. And I call that my magic drawer because it has a corkscrew, bottle opener, and 2 wine glasses. And the reason being is you're in Europe. You're on tour. You go after tour, you're shopping and you see a bottle of wine or some beer that we can't get in the States. Bring it on board. We don't confiscate it. We give you the tools to open it. And if you can't open it, we will open it for you. Right? Now, we also have connecting staterooms. On our ships that were built from 2017 to today, they have 12 connecting cabins. So you can have, if you want to be up close and personal with your friends and family, you can, just have to request it. And then our 235 square foot staterooms have a capability of being a triple as well. That is a single hide-a-bed that you see. And then my French balconies, they are 170 square feet. They have the same amenities as my 210 or my 235 square foot cabins, but they do not have the balcony. They just have a very large sliding glass door. Okay? But let's talk a little bit about my Ama Magna. She was Rudy Schneider, who's our president and also one of our co-founders and our architect, dreamed to build this ship. She is our largest ship in our fleet. She's 196 passengers, but she is not only 443 feet long, she is 72 feet wide. So she's twice the width of our regular twin balcony. She is full balcony, not twin balcony. And she has, show you, 4 restaurants. Is our main dining room that serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner. My alfresco serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner, but dinner is a set menu. Then Jimmy's serves lunch and dinner and family style. And then, of course, my chef's table, which is dinner only. And also, the staterooms are much larger. So my average is 355 square feet stateroom, right? And she also has some beautiful grand suites at 474 square feet. She can only do the Danube because of her width, because the locks on the Danube are wider. She does, and we have a pickleball, a full-size pickleball court on the Ama Magna. So not only does she have the pickleball court, she has a full-service spa, she has a full-service beauty salon, a nail salon, and of course, as I mentioned earlier, all of my ships have swimming pools. One of the unique things about AmaWaterways is our pre- and post-land programs. So let's just take for an example, Amsterdam. You fly into Amsterdam, we meet you at the airport, and you're going to do a pre, because it's always nice to get yourself acclimated to the time difference, all right? You fly into Amsterdam, we meet you, we take you to your hotel. That is where you're going to actually meet your cruise manager. We are the only river cruise company that does that. You'll have your luggage taken to your room. You'll meet your cruise manager. You'll have like a mini cocktail party. You'll get what your tours. We always offer complimentary city tour, whether it's a pre or a post journey that you're doing with us. And then we offer some optional tours, because usually when some people want a tour, Some people do not. They would rather walk through the city themselves, or they have already decided what they're doing in the city. Then that cruise manager will take you to the ship and and be with you on the ship. And if you choose to do the post, that same cruise manager will be with you. The post. You have one person that you will be with your entire time while you're with us. We offer over 60 beautiful, unique itineraries in Europe between the Rhine, the Danube, the Moselle, the Main rivers. And what you see in front of you, of course, is Budapest. That's the Parliament building. And you're also seeing the Rhine Gorge on your right. So you have lots of things to choose from, right? And for wine cruises, this year we will be offering 74 wine-hosted journeys. And they are not only in France, but they are on the Danube, they're on the Rhine, they're in Portugal. I mean, they're wine-hosted, meaning that there's a wine host that either is an owner of a vineyard. We've brought on their wine so that we do wine tasting. You'll have a wine paired dinner. We go into, as the picture shows, a wine cellar where you will have some wine tastings of the wineries of the rivers that you're traveling, right? And in 2025, we're actually going to be having 84 wine-hosted journeys. And we started this in 2006 with 6 wine-hosted tours. And now look at how it's grown. It's extremely popular. And of course, let's talk about the Christmas. One of my favorite journeys. They start anywhere, again, depending upon the city, the town, the village. They can start anywhere from the middle of November or right after our Thanksgiving, depending. And they go, some of them go till December 23rd. Some of them will actually go into January 1st. Again, but they are magical, really are. And and at this time of the year, we see a lot of multi-generationals where, especially with the children, they love to go see the Christmas markets, but they also love to see Santa Claus, which Santa Claus visits every single one of our Christmas market journeys. We offer some specialty tours, and it's like the celebration of classical music. It's on the Danube. You start in Budapest, and you go to Vienna, or Vienna to Budapest. And we do offer a pre or a post, which I've done that. This journey is 7 nights, but it's amazing. When you're in Budapest, and I always say we never spend enough time in Budapest. Here, we go into the opera house. We have a little concert. We go into the School of Music in Budapest, where we also have a concert. Into Vienna, where we go in to have a private concert of all of our own in Vienna in one of the music halls. If you enjoy music, along with seeing the sights of between Budapest and Vienna, it's an amazing journey. And we've extended our season in Europe, right? So for 2024, we are going to be traveling in February. So the Ama Magna is going to be doing 3 journeys in February. And the Ama Lucia will be doing the Rhine. So the captivating Rhine or the enchanted Rhine, either starting in Amsterdam, going down to Basel. So, and Europe is very special in the wintertime. It doesn't get as cold as us in the Midwest. Yes, it gets a little brisk, but not cold sub-zero like we're experiencing right now. And there's a lot of other activities that one can do in the wintertime that do in the summer, right? And of course, the crowds aren't there, and airfares are less expensive as well. Something else to think about. Now, with that being said, we are offering a special for the solo traveler. We have waived the single supplement completely for our Danube on the Magda and our Amalea. We're also doing the Blue Danube Discovery that we've eliminated. So that's valid. So if you're a solo traveler, now is the time to maybe think about traveling, because there is no single supplement that we add. Normally with us, with AmaWaterways, our single supplements can be anywhere from 10% of the double to 25% of the double, depending upon the when you're traveling. A little bit about France. Okay. Paris and Normandy is a round trip Paris. That is the more historic. That's where we visit Normandy. It is a very moving itinerary. We also could visit Giverny, where you the Monet paintings in the Monet's house. And we also offer a pre or a post Paris. Now our Burgundy and Provence. Now that one is we're doing not only on the Saône but also on the Rhone rivers, and that one is if you're a bicyclist, it's a beautiful itinerary for you to travel. You can actually bicycle from one city to the next. Actually, wave at us as you're passing us aboard, and that's on the Saône and the Rhone. And the difference being, and I'll talk a little bit more about that, is on the Saône River, you will experience a different, not only the wines, but you also have the food. Because the Saône that area was developed and kind of conquered by the Normans, and they cook with butter. Now, once you get to Lyon and traveling down on the Rhone River, you will be. That was all, I should say, conquered by the Romans, and the Romans do olive oil. So the flavors of experiencing on those two rivers in France is amazing. We have the impressions of the Seine, another journey on the Seine where you can either start in Paris and go to Honfleur, or start in Honfleur and start in Paris. And we do offer a pre or post in Paris, or a pre and post in Mulsanne. All right. Beautiful area. I'm so glad we brought that. We have the Colors of Provence, which is strictly on the Rhone, starts at Lyon and goes to Arles, with a pre or post in Nice. Right? Then we have the Taste of Bordeaux, and that's a Bordeaux. And it's not only, when we talk about Bordeaux, we talk, you think wine, but it's also the flavors. But the foods of that Bordeaux region is amazing. And it's a beautiful biking area as well, where again, because it's a Bordeaux, you can actually be biking from one city, town, village to another, and waving at us as we fly. What we are adding in 24 flavors of Burgundy, it's going to be strictly on the Saône River. So you're not only going to be experiencing the foods of that region, but also the wines and the beauty of the architecture. Because the architecture in this area is completely different than if you were on the Rhone River or if you're on the Seine, because it's more Norman. And as you can see in one of these pictures, the architecture is different. You'll see it by the roofs. The Douro. Now, that is Porto. That's a picture of Porto right there. And Porto is the only city that is located on the Douro River. Right? Otherwise, as you were traveling on the Douro, we stop at the dock, we take you on the bus to the beautiful cities and towns and villages that we visit for the wine tasting, for the foods, and you will actually experience a lunch and a dinner off ship when you're traveling with AmaWaterways. And we have extended the season on the Douro. We start at the end of March instead of beginning of November, in October, but now we are actually extending it into very exciting, because what we've discovered is that Portugal also has beautiful Christmas markets. Get to experience that. Let's talk a little bit about the Mekong and the Amadara. As I mentioned, 124 passengers, and you have your land portion as well as your 7-night cruise portion. And the people of Vietnam are amazing. They're always smiling. You always see them smiling. And the architecture and the beauty of Vietnam and we are offering some special 2-for-1 land. So again, it's on select sailings in Vietnam for not only 24, but also for 25. So if that is on your bucket list, you might want to consider the opportunity of doing that and having a 2-for-1 land special where you have, and our pre or post is either in Big. And that, the picture that you see right there is Ha Long Bay. We will spend one night on a beautiful ship in Ha Long Bay. Now, Colombia, a new adventure, right? And what's nice about Colombia is that it's on the same time zone as we are in the Midwest, all right? So it's on Central Time. And Colombia is becoming extremely popular, not only colorful, but popular. And you will also experience at either one of our journeys that we're offering as far as our itineraries, a festival. We have a festival for you that you will experience. And we're starting on the Magdalena, the Magdalena River runs through Colombia, right? And we are actually building all the docks, etc., for you to experience the beauty of the Magdalena and the area. So these are the cities that you will be visiting. And we're also offering some pre or post land packages. So Medellin and Cartagena or Panama City. And we're starting the Wonders of Colombia in the fall of this year, and the Magic of Colombia in the second quarter of 5. And our ships are small. They're only 62 passengers. Both of those ships will be 62 passengers. They will have the same amenities as my European ships. So they will be completely Wi-Fi complimentary, 24/7. They will have a beautiful swimming pool. They will have a chef's table, and they will have a spa and beautifully appointed staterooms. Now, what are our promotions to get you enticed to travel, not only in 24, but also in 25? Right? So what we're doing is we're offering a complimentary land offer, right? So pre or post, depending upon on various select itineraries in 24 or in 25. So you have Paris, you'll have maybe Mont Saint-Michel, you might have Prague, Amsterdam. Let's see what you could choose from. So these are all the cities that we are offering our complimentary land packages that you can choose from on various different select itineraries. Again, got some beautiful itineraries to spend some extra time on a complimentary basis. So something to think about. And this is valid right now until March 31st here on either 24 or 25 itineraries. And please, your advisor at Jet Travel will have all this information for you. We offer an air program. We call it Air Plus, right? And it's economy air at $8.99, premium economy at $22.99, and business class at $49. And it's our air program, or you can choose our regular contracted air. So we're offering a little bit of both. Now with our Air Plus program, you know it is what you don't really have a choice of your airline. But on our regular air schedule that we do offer, our contract air, which is very well priced as well, you can choose your airline, you can choose your itinerary. It's a little bit different than, but look at the price tag. Business class, $32.99. I was surprised. I was looking at airfares the other day, and business class at $10,000. I'm going, I don't think so. Again, your opportunities are there. We're also offering some summer triple savings on some of our select sailings in July and August of this year, where on a basic 7-night, 10 or 11-night cruise, we we're offering you $1,000 per stateroom, which is $500 per person discount, a complimentary stateroom upgrade, okay? And plus a $24 per person onboard credit. So you could use it if you want an after dinner drink. It goes on your tab. You can pay for it with your onboard credit. Want something in our gift shop? Yeah, do it that way. If you take a longer cruise, we're offering you obviously something. In addition, you'll have a $7,000, you'll have $2,000 per state. Okay, and you'll get also a $50 onboard credit. And again, this is valid until March 31st. So you can have a little bit of time to think about what itinerary you would like to do, but it is on select. And again, we're offering some specials for your solo traveler. Now, again, a 20% single supplement on select 12, it says 23, but we're also doing 24 and 25. And that goes until March 31st as well. But on our smaller ships in France, we've waived the single supplement completely on our French. Those are our smaller ships are the 360, still 37 feet wide, and they only hold 140 passengers. Again, we're completely waiving that for you to travel on the French. And if you want to do Christmas markets in 2025, we're offering you a triple savings now. So it's a savings of $1,000 per stateroom per person, right? Complimentary stateroom upgrade and a $100 per stateroom onboard credit, $50 per person. And this is on a 7-night cruise. If you are thinking of doing Christmas markets, now is the time to. This is a wonderful opportunity, not only to save money, but also to be part of the Christmas market. And again, this is valid first quarter, March 31st. For those romantics, you would like to renew your vows, we do this on all of our ships, and it's $499 per couple, all right? And you have a vow renewal package where you do your symbolic vow renewals, you get a couples massage, you have a special dessert, you have special turn down service, and champagne. So again, something to think about if you want to renew your vows when on board our ship with her. River cruising. I know many of you have done oceans, and they do take you to beautiful country. My rivers, they will take you through them. You do get up close and personal with the cities, the towns, the villages, as well as the people, right? And it's a beautiful, beautiful way to see Europe, Vietnam, Egypt, Colombia, Africa. Open for questions, if anybody has any. No?
Wow, well, that was a beautiful presentation, Mary Margaret. Thank you for taking us through Europe and into Vietnam and Africa and into Colombia as well. It's quite a lot of itineraries that AMA has, and they all look absolutely incredible. And the photos just, I'm sure they don't do it justice, but they are beautiful to look at.
Yes, they are. They are gorgeous. I mean, I love the photos too, but you're absolutely correct. When you're up there in person, it is amazing. It truly is.
Yeah, no, that looks amazing. That does look incredible. I do have some questions for you. I was wondering, when it comes to Colombia, I know that you have the November sailing, but you also have the spring sailing as well. Will the spring sailing, do you think it will go for a month as well, or do you think it will be itineraries will be available for more than 1 month in the spring?
What do you mean 1 month? No, our sailing, it's for a year. We go from the only 2 months that we do not sail is September and into the middle of October. which we put, we need some time to we refresh our ships. We do whatever we need to do with our ships. That is the only time that we're not traveling on the Magdalena.
Okay, perfect.
So, I mean, we're starting, our first itinerary will start in November and run until the end of August, and then pick up again in the mid of say the 1st of November. And our second sailing with our second ship will start, because we're still building it. We'll start the second quarter, probably April, 1st of May, and go until the end of August, and then start up again. So we will have then 2 itineraries, but there's 7-night itineraries.
I see. Okay, perfect. No, that's wonderful. Wow, a brand new ship for a brand new whole set of itineraries. That
Yes.
sounds that sounds really nice. Perfect. Um, and then for those that are new to AMA, can you talk a little bit more about what the fares include? I know you touched on it earlier with the free flowing wine, but what does the fares typically include with AMA?
Well, like I said, we're inclusive, not all inclusive. I mean, obviously, you have your stateroom, your 7 nights of where you're going to be sleeping, right? You're going to have your breakfast, lunch, and dinners with us. You have your sparkling wine with breakfast, your beers, wine, and soda complimentary with lunch and dinner. You have your sip and sail, complimentary open bar prior each evening during your sailing. You have nightly entertainment. We actually have an entertainer that travels with us, and the lounge stays open until the last person leaves. So we may bring on nightly entertainment, and when after the night that they leave, our entertainers continues. All the tours are included, so they don't have to be nickel and dime to say, well, I want to do this tour and it's going to cost you this amount. No, they're all included, and you have choices, as I mentioned, choices, not options. If you change your mind, you can change your mind. Instead of doing a cooking class, you want to do a particular tour. You can change your mind. What else? Our deposit is only $400 per person. Our final payment is due 90 days prior to departure. If you purchase air with AMA through Jet Travel rather, you have transfers are included. What else can I tell you? Anything else?
No, I think you covered it all.
Yeah, the reason why I say we're inclusive is because we do not include a 24/7 bar, because our philosophy has always been from our beginning, why would you want to pay for somebody else's drinking habits? So, we
Yeah,
include so much as far as the wine, the beer, that we just don't include a 24/7 bar.
no, absolutely. It sounds like you said, very inclusive with the fare. It really covers a lot of everything that a traveler would need and want as they experience a river cruise. Having those excursions as part of the fares, really a beautiful benefit of traveling with AMA. And if I recall correctly, there's multiple excursion options or choices rather, at each port of call. Is that right?
Absolutely. Absolutely, there is. I mean, we always give choices so that, for an example, if you're in Vienna, you get a Vienna city tour, but you could also do a bike tour. You could also do a tour to the Schönberg Palace. You could also just do your own self tour if you'd like. Um, when we're in Linz, you'll have the choice of staying in Linz, doing a walking tour, doing a bike tour, or you could choose to do a full day Salzburg, or you could choose to do a full day Kresge in the Czech Republic. So again, we give you choices.
That's fantastic, and that's something that's pretty unique to AMA as far as providing those choices underneath that same, like you said, inclusive fare. So it's
Yes.
really special thing that we do love about AMA. And another thing that we love as well is the intimacy of your ships. And like you said, some of your larger ships only include 140 passengers. That gives you a lot of opportunity to, go to the port of call and be on a tour and truly experience the tour rather than being maybe a part of a really large group where it might be hard to hear or hard to see what's going on. Can you speak a little bit more to some of those experiences?
Sure, we offer a quiet box, which is, where it's a earpiece, and you are connected to the tour guide of the tour that you've chosen, so that you can actually hear the tour guide through the quiet box system. So you don't have to be up close and personal to the tour guide in order to hear them. And you could also, I find myself wandering a little bit, taking pictures and still hearing the tour guide. So you're kind of independent, but and not tethered in a sense to the tour guide. Um, other than that, I mean, if we're in a lecture, it's like, for an example, if you've chosen to do pretzel making, you'll be in a bakery area where you're listening to the person describe how to make a pretzel, and then you'll have the experience of making your own pretzel. All right. So they're small groups. Our tours, our tour groups, we try and keep no more than 15 to 17 people in a tour. And that's because we offer so many different a variety of tours. Our ships, like as you mentioned, are smaller. Our ships in France are 144 passengers. And in Europe itself, we've got 154 or 164 passenger ships. Our AmaMagnet is our largest, which is 196 passengers. You've got in Portugal, there are 102 passengers. So again, smaller, more intimate feel.
Wonderful, and not short on amenities at all. As we saw, there's the pickleball court, and mentioned spas on board certain ships and multiple restaurants. So really a lot to do on board as well as at each port of call.
Yes, absolutely. And if we're there, let's say we're docked in the evening, we encourage you to get off and go explore in the evening the city, town, or village that we're visiting. Absolutely.
That's fantastic. And then for some folks that might be new to river cruising but are familiar with ocean cruising, can you talk a little bit more about maybe what's worn on board or aboard ship, or if there's a formal night, or what people typically pack clothes-wise?
Uh, I'd like to say it's definitely not formal. Definitely not formal attire. It's casual, whatever you would wear during the day as far as on tour. If it's if it's during the summertime, uh, you could wear shorts. You could wear very comfortable clothes. During the evening for dinner, we do like to say it's country club casual. Um, so it's a little bit, ties are not allowed on my ships, I like to say, but I would suggest a sport jacket, because if you're going to be having dinner in the chef's table, a sport jacket with a polo shirt, or a sport jacket with a sweater, etc., is always nice.
Wonderful, absolutely. We do
But
love that.
there's no formal nights, no.
Formal nights are fun, but it's so much more fun to be a bit more, like you said, a little bit more casual, but or country club wear. That's fantastic. And then as far as river cruise, packing for a river cruise, what are some of your top things that you always bring when you go on a river cruise?
Oh boy. Well, the first thing I like to do is I line my suitcase with bubble wrap. Okay. I put my and I when I pack, I do a lot of, say, couple of pairs of black slacks and a lot of tops, because you could always, during the day I might have some leggings, and a top, or if I'm there in the summertime, I might have some kind of palazzo type pants, something casual and comfortable shoes are very, very important, because there is a lot of walking. So I packed that, and then after I pack uh, uh, my clothes, I wrap the bubble wrap around it, so that if I'm purchasing something in Europe that might be breakable, I can wrap. I take my bubble wrap and I wrap it in bubble wrap, and it stays safe in my suitcase when I'm traveling home.
Oh,
Yeah.
very clever.
But definitely comfortable shoes. All of our staterooms, bathrooms have wonderful shampoos, lotions, and conditioners, so you don't have to pack that. And I would absolutely pack your converter so that you can plug in we provide hair dryers, so you don't have to pack a hair dryer. But if you want, if you're going to pack a curling iron or something like that, make sure you have your converter so it's European electrical ready. What else can I tell you as far as obviously if you want to bring your iPad or your computer or your phone for pictures, your camera, your charging units that you need to make sure that they keep charged. Other than that, I mean, it's pretty basic no matter where if you were traveling from your home to, say, Los Angeles or to New York or to Atlanta or Miami or or Cancun, it's the same type of travel. You have to just remember that you definitely need a passport. You do not need any visas in Europe per se, but make sure that your passport is valid 6 months from when you say you're departing on May 1st, it better be valid through November 1st, because it has to be valid 6 months to come home. So that's basically the one thing that I always double check. I also make copies of my passport. I make copies of whatever credit card I'm taking with me, so that in case anything should happen, I have a copy of it. And I leave a copy at home, and I put a copy in my or my purse, whatever.
Brilliant.
Just
That's really good advice on getting your things together for packing and making sure that you have safe backups, but especially that tip on the passports and making sure they're still current 6 months after your expected return. Absolutely critical when we talk about traveling overseas. So yeah, thank you so much for bringing that up.
And I would also recommend travel insurance. I really would, because in today's day and age, one never knows. And our medical insurance is not valid in Europe or any place else other than the United States.
Absolutely. Yep. And while you hope nothing would happen, things do happen, and having that travel insurance is just such a nice peace of mind while you travel, and really can come in handy when the worst happens. So great advice. Absolutely. And then my last question for you is what's your favorite river cruise that you've been on in your time with Ama?
Oh my goodness. Oh. Um, I think, I mean, I have several favorites. I mean, I love doing um, the Seine, doing Paris to Normandy, because it's quite a moving sailing, going up to the beaches and experiencing that. Um, well, I guess one of my very favorites is also the gems of Southeast Europe, only because uh, I visited countries that were behind the Iron Curtain when I was a little girl, um, and going into Croatia, going into Romania, Bulgaria, was quite fascinating, and to see the differences of foods, the differences of the architecture that's there, because it was all under the communist rule up until 1999, and it's a beautiful journey. But I would not recommend it for somebody who, say, hasn't done the Upper Danube first, or done uh, some other travel because it's a little bit different than traveling the Upper Danube, where it's beautiful castles and beautiful. The scenery is a little bit different. You asked for my favorites. Probably one of my very favorites.
Wow, absolutely neat. Very cool. Certainly some like a refresher on some things that destinations that people might not first come to mind. So that is really neat that those are some of the top destinations that you've gone to on your river cruise experiences. That's fantastic. Well, I will just put a call out to anyone else who has any questions. You're welcome to drop them into the chat. We'll give you a couple moments there to formulate your questions. And as you formulate your questions, some of the cruise cruises that we've talked about, the itineraries that we've talked about today, that are new, or include the Colombia cruise itineraries, as well as the new opportunities in Portugal, and we have, I believe, a new itinerary in France. As
Yes.
any other ones that you'd like to mention as well, while we're giving people an opportunity to write their questions.
Um, Boy, I'd highly recommend if you're thinking of doing Egypt, we do have beautiful Egyptian itinerary on the Nile, where we start in Lux. You know, we fly into Cairo. We have 3 nights in Cairo. We do a beautiful journey and tour in Cairo. We go into the museums there. You see the pyramid, the Sphinx, etc. You have an Egyptologist that travels with you during your whole journey. That's you'll meet in Cairo at your hotel. Um, and we fly to Luxor, where we board the Amadelia, and you sail 7 nights. And it's a beautiful sailing excursion where you see the historic Egypt. I mean, it's amazing. And then we fly back to from Luxor. It's go back to Cairo and spend your last night in Cairo before you go home.
Wow, that does sound like a very unique itinerary. Really incredible. I love that you have bring on board an Egyptologist, have the opportunity for passengers to ask questions and to dig a little
Oh,
bit deeper into this really unique and historic itinerary.
yes, very much so. Oh,
Mhm. Perfect. Well, I don't see any questions coming through on the chat. So we'll go ahead and wind it down. But any other last words before we let you go, Mary Margaret?
well, I would say don't wait till the last minute to book a river cruise because as I mentioned, they're small ships. They're not the 2,000 or 3,000 or 6,000 passenger ships. They're small and they do fill. And especially if you want a particular date, you want a particular itinerary, or you want a particular stateroom. Um, I would highly recommend that you actually really think about what you want to do and do it, especially now with all the promotions that are going on for the first quarter. And as I mentioned, our deposit is only $400 per person.
Perfect. Absolutely. Those are great last words. Well, thank you so much again for your time tonight. And to everyone here, thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about anything that you've learned here, feel free to reach out to us here at Jet Travel. We'd be happy to answer any questions and talk to you more about the promotions that Amos generously has shared with us. And I believe that is everything. So thank you again so much, Mary Margaret.
Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, have a wonderful rest of your night, and everyone, stay safe out there.
Thank you.